Hello everyone, I welcome you all on this YouTube channel UPSClogy. This is me Rahul, and today we are going to cover The Hindu and the Indian Express news articles for your public administration optional dated 18th October 2024 to 28th October 2024. तो 10 दिन 11 दिन का current affair for your public administration is something that we are going to cover in this specific video. Okay, so let's get started without wasting a bit of time. So the first article on to 18th October 2024 from the Hindu newspaper is given on your screen. The article was talking about the section 6A of Citizenship Act, and Supreme Court uphold this specific law by incorporating or by citing the preambular value of fraternity. So basically what happened is that this article, this section 6A of Citizenship Act is something that is the part of your GS knowledge. You will cover the things from your GS current affair, or for that matter the GS knowledge. So basically what happened is that when it comes to your syllabus of PubAd paper 2, philosophical framework of constitution and government is the part of your syllabus. It is one of the head of your syllabus, and here this article is talking about the preambular value of fraternity. So this article is relevant for your value premise under the philosophical framework, and in those articles and in the questions related to value premise, you just need to use this. Apart from that, you just need to inculcate this thing that okay, when it comes to preamble, you can use this kind of fancy word, preambular value of fraternity. Similarly, we have the preambular value of socialism, we have the preambular value of the sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, etc. Okay, I hope you are getting. This is something that you need to take away from this specific article. Apart from that, Baba Siddiqui murder, LOC issued against 3 accused. So this article is not important as such for the matter of issue, but what happened is that this is something that I want you to remember, or I want you to inculcate this specific thing, that when it comes to your public administration paper 2, law and order is the part of your syllabus, and when it comes to law and order, this lookout circular is something that you should inculcate in your memory so that you can use these kind of vocabulary while writing the answer. This is the only relevance of this article, and if you follow this PubAdpedia channel, the link is t.me/PubAdpedia. If you follow this channel, I used to share the important news articles on daily basis, and I specifically highlight that how can you use this article. For example, if you read this article, if you read if you see the channel and if you find this article in the channel, I specifically mentioned that only keyword is important, and this keyword, this lookout circular is important. The article is not important, the issue is not important. Sometimes the issue is important, sometimes the keyword is important, sometimes the example is important, sometimes the fact given in those articles are important. I used to mention that where you should use that particular article. Okay, I hope you are getting this. Apart from that, this article is talking about the modified UBI policy, and that may be more feasible. So what happened is that UBI, the universal basic income, this idea of universal basic income was highlighted in one of the economic survey. If I am not wrong, it was the economic survey of 2017-18. Okay, so this was in news, and recently what happened is that there are, you can say again, debates over the implementation of this idea of universal basic income. So here this article can be linked with your policy thing. This can be linked with your financial administration and management as well, because what happened that as of now we are having this multiple schemes, and this UBI will solve the problem of system 2 of Rensis Likert. Let me elaborate this thing in a bit of detail. So what happened is that if you read Rensis Likert talks about 4 system 1, 2, 3 and 4. You must be knowing about this. System 1, if you read, it is all about exploitative, authoritative System 2 is all about this idea of benevolent authoritative. System 3 is consultative, and system 4 is participative. Fine. So this is all about the systems given by Rensis Likert. But here what happen is that when we are providing the schemes, and when the government specifically is providing the schemes, it is following this idea of benevolent authoritative. It is not exploitative, it is benevolent authoritative. It is benevolent. For example, let's say it is providing midday meal, or for that matter the MG Narega thing, or for that matter National Food Security Act 2013. So if it is providing different you can say benefits to the citizen, to the beneficiary per se, it is acting like a benevolent government, but at the same time it is authoritative in nature. If you read, if you analyze, it is benevolent, no doubt it is benevolent, but it is authoritative at the end of the day. It is not consulting with the citizen कि तुम्हें क्या चाहिए. It is not consulting, or it is not allowing the participation of citizen. Okay, some sort of participation is obviously there in the form of various accountability mechanisms, like citizen charter is there, or for that matter social audit thing is there, or civil society organizations are there to follow this idea of participation. But in general, by and large, what is happening, that the government is benevolent authoritative. Government is following the system 2. It is deciding what they want to give. Okay, so if you want road, they are providing you the Udan scheme. So this kind of thing, I used to say this thing in a kind of sarcastic manner, but yes, ऐसा ही है जो है. So what is happening is that it is providing a benevolent authoritative system. And universal basic income, this idea, the basic existence of this idea is targeting this idea of benevolent authoritative, because what happen is that when the government will provide, let's say government is providing UBI and not providing the various schemes that it is now providing, so what will happen, that this will eliminate the idea of benevolent authoritative, because now the citizen have the money, citizen have the basic income, and the income can be used in multiple ways. So अब हमें जो चाहिए वो हम ले पाएंगे, rather than depending on the idea that what government is providing. Okay, so I hope you are getting. So this is the thing that you need to relate with respect to universal basic income. This is the public administration oriented idea of universal basic income. I hope you are getting. Similarly, in policy also we have this idea of Beagle factor. BEAGLE. Okay, Beagle factor. This Beagle factor idea is something that basically highlights that the top authority in the top down model, what happen is that the people sitting at the top of the pyramid, they are unable to understand the real demands of the citizen, the core issues of the citizen that the citizens are facing in the day to day lives. So this led to the idea of Beagle factor. Just like beagle, the biological being, let's say, so just like beagle, the citizen, the politicians at the top, or the authoritative, you can say the kind of administrators at the top, they are unable to see the real demands or the real, you can say, problems of the citizenry. This leads to the problem of Beagle factor in public policy formulation. This is the major problem of top down model, and that's why Mahatma Gandhi gave this concentric circle model, the kind of bottom up approach, the decentralized development approach, and many names are there. You just need to know that this Beagle factor is the problem, this benevolent authoritative system is the problem, and that's why we need universal basic income. Similarly, other aspects, other problems are also there, the leakage, the exclusion, inclusion error, all those things are there, and you just need to relate this thing like this. Okay, apart from that, this article is talking about some sort of alternatives as well, and basically the article, at the end of the day, the article is suggesting that what we need is not the total elimination of the current scheme, the current idea of things, but we need the kind of middle path in which the specific, the sector wise schemes should be there, and at the same time it should be, you can say, there should be a kind of staggering approach insofar as the policy formulation is concerned. You can just read it, this article, and this article is very easy to understand. You can just go through this article once. Apart from that, the next article in these 10 days was with respect to your RBI order cease and desist on the 4 NBFC for usurious pricing. Okay, so sorry for this Okay, so here this article is talking about the regulation. So you just need to relate that, okay, in your public administration paper 1, organization is there and regulation is an important element of your this kind of thing. Okay, so that's why it is important. You just need to go through it, and this is not very important. UPSC is not going to frame the question from this article, but yes, you just need to know that, okay, RBI regulates NBFC. This is the only thing that you can understand from this article. The next article is about the Bangladesh court issues arrest warrant for Hasina. So now this what happened is that this specific article, if you read this article, this has nothing to do with our Indian administration. This has nothing to do with the administration in general. But what happened that in PubAd paper 1, comparative public administration is there, and you can use these kind of things while analyzing the comparative administration elements or while writing the answer related to comparative public administration. Okay, so this is a kind of thing where your wisdom and your kind of idea of things will matter, and I'm not going to tell you that कि इस question में इसको use कर देना, but yes, what happen is that while you are analyzing and while you are writing something, you can use these kind of things. Let's say in comparative public administration, while comparing India, or for that matter, while in let's say in paper 2 you are writing something in which you have to appreciate that the Indian administration, like what is the, you can say, let's say there is a question on elected autocracy. Okay, so let's say there is a question ke India mein whether there is a elected autocracy, then you can mention that autocracy is obviously not here, because if you read, if you analyze, if you compare, because comparison is the art of analytical approach. So when you compare, you are analytical, obviously. So that's why it is important. Apart from that, again, when it comes to state government and administration, there are many news articles that are going on in a simultaneous manner. There are many debates, there are many issues that are going on in different states. Different governors are fighting with the chief ministers of various states. All these tussles are going on. Tussle and controversy are not important, but what is important is the core issues that are going on in these tussle. Because what happened is that, let's say if you analyze the mock question, or if you solve some sort of PYQ, you will find that governor CM conflict are going on everywhere. What you have to use is the issue that is going on in these things, in these conflicts, let's say. So for example, some summons, this kind of summoning power, with respect to summoning power issues are going on. Similarly, LG versus CM are going on with respect to the matters in which they can make the laws. The kind of service files are also there. So files जो हैं वो फंसी हुई हैं. Apart from that, some sort of this assent thing, you know about this assent, article 200-201. So in these articles, governor has the power to give the assent to the bill, so they can reserve the bill to the president. So some sort of issues with respect to reservation of bill for the president is going on. Some sort of issues are going on with respect to the giving of assent. Sometimes the kind of speech that is being given by the governor, the special address of governor, it is being manipulated by some sort. It is being, you can say, politicized. So that is the problem. Similarly, the governor acts as the chancellor of university. So in that capacity, they are facing the problem. Similarly, what happens is that sometimes the center-state relations, the governor become important here. Similarly, in some states, what happens? Governor is playing an important role in managing the bureaucracy as well, mainly in Delhi, etc. So what happens is that these are the issues, and you need to note these issues, and you should use these issues as examples while writing your answers in the paper, in the actual paper. So this is how you need to know these kind of controversies. Controversy के detail में नहीं चले जाना है कि किसने क्या किसको क्या बोला, but the thing is कि किस matter पे controversy हो रही है. Those matters should be clear in your mind for your interview as well as for your mains examination, where you can use these things as the example. Let's say this is the issue with respect to state anthem, some sort of thing is going on. So you just need to know that, okay, this can be, or this is one of the issue where they are basically fighting over. Okay, apart from that, Supreme Court closes habeas corpus case against ISA Foundation. So again, here in this article, what you need to know that this habeas corpus is the part of your fundamental rights under Article 32, and this is the current contemporary development or the kind of current affair with respect to this specific article. So this is the way you need to understand that whatever you are reading in static, you need to have this kind of current affair examples with respect to that news article. So that's why it is important. Apart from that, perilous highway to salvation in the Himalayas. So this article is talking about some sort of development. So here environment development sort of thing is going on. So here this scientific paper written in the authors led to this. Okay, so what happened that I was just wondering कि कहाँ पे इसको करना है. So I just found out. So basically what happened is that this article, if you read this paragraph, this thing, you will find that landslide is the major issue. And if you read your PubAd paper 2 syllabus, in the 14th topic of this PubAd paper 2 is significant issues in Indian administration, and in this you will find disaster management, and that's why disaster management or disaster related news are also important, and you just need some sort of basic ideas with respect to various disasters, and that's why it is important. Apart from that, faith of nations. So this article is talking about the inclusive institution. So recently the Nobel Prize, if you follow my video of this 17th October 2024, I have mentioned this specific article in that news article only. So this article is all about this structural mechanism, this institutional mechanism. So I already explained this thing to you, so you can just watch out the newspaper analysis of 17th October. Apart from that, this article is talking about non-kinetic warfare. This is very important for your GS3, but in your public administration also you just need to cultivate this kind of vocabulary for your public administration paper 2, law and order administration. Non-kinetic warfare, the pager attack that was conducted recently by Israel against this kind of Hezbollah people. So this is something, this pager attack sort of thing is the example of non-kinetic warfare. You can expect this kind of ambiguous question or kind of unique or innovative question in your GS paper 3, and that's why it is important. In your PubAd paper 2, you can cultivate this vocabulary, just like lookout circular. You can use this non-kinetic warfare sort of thing in your answers. Apart from that, Prime Minister said to launch National Learning Week today. Here what happened is that this article is relevant. This article is quite relevant for your public administration, because what happened that in your PubAd, personal administration and civil services are the part of paper 1 and paper 2, and this article is talking about this learning week, and this learning week is not about the learning of midday meal or learning of primary school students. This is about the impart fresh impetus towards individual and organizational capacity for civil servants. So this is how, that's why it is important. Okay, so during National Learning Week, the Karmyogi will commit to achieve a target of at least 4 hours of this competency linked learning. So this is how you just need to know that, okay, competency linked learning, this learning week idea, you just need to relate this thing with your training mein Mission Karmyogi is in news, so that's why it is important. Apart from that, laws for minority institution do not breach secularism. This is a basic article that you need to read for your philosophical framework. Apart from that, approaching milestone in constitutional governance. So this article is talking about the constitutional governance. So constitutional governance is nothing but the governance that is based on the ideas of the constitution, and this is nothing but the idea of constitutionalism that you will read in your public administration paper 2 under the heading philosophical framework of constitution and government, and that's why this article is important. This is a very simple article, you just need to read it. You will not get anything new, but yes, you can just read it to cultivate some sort of vocabulary. This article is very important for your upcoming exam. You might get some question, or you should definitely get the opportunity. You will definitely get the opportunity to use this article, because what happened is that in personal administration and civil services, this performance appraisal, this annual performance appraisal report, this performance evaluation per se is an important theme is an important theme for your UPSC CSE exam, and that's why this is important, and this development becomes important automatically. So what happened that in UP, in Uttar Pradesh, UP become the first state to link performance of district magistrate and commissioners, district divisional commissioners, to investment generated in their district. So what happened is that the UP government become the first state that has linked this annual performance appraisal report, this performance appraisal, with the investment accumulated or investment generated in the districts by these district magistrates and the divisional commissioners. Apart from this kind of investment, they have also incorporated the idea of you can say, apart from investment accumulated or investment generated, other things like employment, direct indirect employment generation, and some other aspects of good governance will be covered as the part of your annual performance appraisal report. So these are the things that will, you can say, let's say if let's say two district magistrates are there and one is generating more investment, because what happened that recently what happened that in UP this global investor summit took place. Okay, and in that around 40 lakh crore rupees was accumulated, the kind of claim, the kind of investment that is, you can say, committed by the investor. So now what happens is that the government is basically linking this kind of 40 lakh crore, it is providing, and it is giving a kind of motivation to the bureaucrats so that they should generate investment in their particular district, because this is going to come. Okay, but kahan pe aayega wo to depend karega district administration, ease of doing business, etc. pe, and that's why it is going to be an important thing. And here investment generated will help the district magistrates or the bureaucrats or the IAS to go through the career progression. Okay, I hope you are getting. So if let's say there are two DMs, one is generating high investment, another is generating low investment, so then what happened that annual performance appraisal report of the first DM will provide good scores, and that will help in the career progression as well. So this is an important initiative, this is an important development insofar as the performance evaluation is concerned, and you should read this very carefully. You should remember this article by your heart. Okay, this is all about this article. Apart from that, model code of conduct should not hamper the relief effort. So this is how you just need to know that High Court is saying this. So now what happened is that model code of conduct is important. If you read one of the article in 29th October 2024, I have already uploaded an video and another video on that particular topic, and if you read that article, if you study that article, you will find that model code of conduct is creating the kind of governance holiday. But here this article is suggesting that High Court can intervene in this process, and they can say that no, poll code, this model code of conduct should not hamper the relief efforts on the name of this kind of Achar Sanhita. Okay, I hope you are getting. So this is how you just need to write. You just need to use this thing in your answers. Okay, theek hai, model code of conduct is coming, but it should not create policy paralysis, it should not create governance holiday, and it should not hamper the relief efforts. I hope you are getting. You should use this thing in your answers. Apart from that, this article is all about the anti-defection law. You just need to know that the background with respect to anti-defection, कि क्या हुआ था, कहाँ से ये develop हुआ था. In the first paragraph you will find this, and in the last paragraph you will find the name of various committees. So you can just read these highlighted thing. Here you will find the background story. You can use this thing in your essays, etc. And here you will find the various committees. You must be knowing about the second ARC thing. You must be knowing about other committees. You can just read it. Okay, this is a very simple article. Apart from that, this article is again talking about the structural thing, the AGR model. AGR model is nothing but the model we have discussed in the previous article as well. On 17th October 2024, I have covered this article that this Nobel Prize of 2024 in economics is given to this AGR. AGR is nothing but provides you the kind of idea that structural, the institutional model, that institution is important for the development, and this article is talking about some basic aspects, and you just need to remember these things for the value addition in your answers. For example, here the colonial origin of comparative development and empirical investigation. This is something that basically highlight this institutional model. So now this institution model is something that can be linked with your development as well as the comparative public administration. Apart from that, AGR expanded why nation fail, suggested the inclusive institution are necessary. So this is something that I have discussed earlier as well, that institutions are necessary. Strengthening of institution is necessary so that we can reap the benefits of LPG reforms, the globalization. This was something that was propounded by various thinkers like Guido Bertolucci, Guido or Bertolucci. So this was a thinker. Many thinkers were there who propounded that globalization will help the country if the country has a strong institution. And this AGR, the AGR got this kind of Nobel Prize of 2024 in this institutional model only, that okay, this strengthening of institution is necessary precondition so for the development and for the you can say good governance per se. So these are the things. And apart from that, here you will find that this article is basically, if you read the heading itself, it is criticizing the AGR model. And how it is criticizing the AGR model? First of all, the criticism of this article are very relatable to your development administration. If you read development administration, it will give you the modernization theory, and post modernization theory you will find some sort of theories like dependence theory, etc. And this article is basically very relevant to your development administration, because here it is saying that first this model is European model. So again, this kind of thing we have studied in development administration. In anti-development thesis, this is one of the criticism, that the kind of arrogant interventionism was there when it comes to idea of development administration. So similar criticism are there. So first of all, it is talking about the European model, and then it is talking about some sort of local Chinese model. So the kind of vocabulary is something that you should develop. Apart from that, it is talking about westernization. So this model is very western, this is very Eurocentric, this is not in sync with the need of developing and underdeveloped country. These are the very, you can say, common criticism that are highlighted in this article, and you just need to read the highlighted portion in order to get the idea. Okay, I hope you are getting. Apart from that, here this article is talking about the RTI filed by Indian Express. So here this article is relevant because it is mentioning about the tribunal, that what happened is that the railway relief in Balasore train accident, you must be knowing about this train accident. So in this accident, the victims contest railway relief and get higher award in tribunal. So while, let's say, what happened is that in your PubAd paper 1, administrative law is the part of your syllabus, and under administrative law, administrative tribunals are important. And let's say there is a question on effectiveness of administrative tribunal, then you can use these kind of current affairs articles as the fodder point, that what happened is how it is helping the citizens. Okay, so this is the one classic example where tribunal is helping in getting more sort of, you can say, compensation as compared to what railway was offering initially. So this is how you just need to write. Apart from that, tribunal is something that is important. L. Chandra Kumar case becomes important. Similarly, how tribunal are facing the problems and how it is an important, this entire mechanism of tribunalization, how it is linked with your kind of, you can say, if you read this thinker called Duit Waldo, this is a kind of Waldovian perspective. Tribunal are nothing but a kind of Waldovian perspective where administration is playing an important role, and we are not focusing, and we are not you can say obsessed with the separation of powers. We are basically following the administrative and this kind of administration given by Waldo, and that's why Duit Waldo's Waldovian perspective, the administrative state sort of thing becomes prominent when we study the tribunals. So this is how you need to relate this thing with your thinkers as well. Apart from that, income disparity dropped 74.2% since FY14. So this is a kind of positive article insofar as the impact of LPG is concerned. So when we study about LPG, the basic problem with LPG is the rising inequality. There are many problems, but one of the major problem is rising inequality. But this article will help you in writing against this thing, then you can mention that okay, after FY14 that income disparity is dropping. So that's how you just need to use this article. Apart from that, this article is talking about the citizen centric administration. It is talking about registration of conflicts. It is talking about how can we utilize the Foley method of conflict resolution in the real world. So this article is suggesting that by identifying the various conflict we can do this. Apart from that, it is also talking about the grievance redressal, the kind of importance of having the kind of, you can say, having the kind of record management, how record management will help you in addressing the grievances, and why barbarian bureaucracy is relevant, why record management is relevant, why record management becomes institutional memory, which will help in addressing the issues. So that's why you just need to relate this thing with your kind of barbarian model, as well as with your grievance redressal, as well as with your conflict management in the disaster based situation. I hope you are getting this. Apart from that, here this kind of interpretation of Supreme Court is important. Apart from that, here Congress declares coordination committee. Again, this is very political article, but yes, you just need to know that one of the thinker called Gulick suggest various principles of administration, and he suggests the idea of coordination by hierarchy, coordination by institution, and coordination by committee. Okay, so coordination by committee is one of the principle by Gulick, and this Gulick principle is visible over here. Wherever there are committees, this coordination by committees becomes important, and this specific article is the latest current development with respect to the relevance of Gulick's principle when it comes to coordination by committees. Okay, so this is how you just need to know. Similarly, MP Foley also suggests that coordination is the process of self-adjustment and self-development. Here they are adjusting, they are coordinating. This coordination mechanism is something that we can see over here in this specific article. Apart from that, this is the last article from 28th October 2024. This article is suggesting the private sector holds the key. So here this article is not in that important, but only thing is important is the takeaway, that the kind of fact from this article. This fact is the thing that when it comes to buses in India, 93% bus are in private sector, only 7% are in public sector. And when it comes to e-bus push, or let's say when it comes to electric vehicle, electric bus, etc., the recent PM e-drive scheme. So when it comes to the effectiveness of these things, this 93% needs to be taken care of, because this is only 7%, and if you are providing incentive to this 7%, ultimately the policy will be failure, because this 93% is out of ambit, is out of context, is out of this entire phenomena of PM e-drive, and that's why we need to incorporate this private sector in our policies, and in this way you can utilize this specific fact in your answers. I hope you are getting. This is all about the articles from 18th October to 28th October. We have covered these 11 days of articles. We have covered the Indian Express as well as the Hindu newspaper for your public administration optional. If you like this initiative, if you like this channel, kindly like, share, subscribe, and also join the Telegram channel PubAdpedia, because what happens is that I am not regular on YouTube as such, but insofar as the Telegram channel is concerned, these articles, I used to share these articles, these highlighted articles on daily basis. So I request you to kindly join if you have not joined it yet, and have a great day, and have a great day, and this is it. Thank you so much.